everyone. Rachel here from Homestack. Super excited to introduce you guys to Keith Anderson from Space RE. Hey, Keith.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks. Thanks for hopping on today. It's going good. For anyone who doesn't know you, isn't familiar with you, fill us in a little bit about your background in real estate and where your business is at today.
Yeah, so I've been in the real estate business for almost 11 years, so 10 years. I was a very unique breed that sold real estate for about 6 months and then immediately went and started a real estate team. So I was
Got
a very,
out.
yeah, so very young and early in the process. I realized that I did not want to sell real estate for the rest of my life, and I knew that probably after the first transaction. But I understood the value of what real estate could be to someone's life and their livelihood and their business and so forth. And I've just been a problem solver at heart since day one. And so I've just always looked at the world in a place of the bigger the problem that I solve, the better opportunity it has for my life and my future. And at the beginning, at that time, I saw so much opportunity in the real estate team model, and it was the biggest problem that I could possibly see. So that was the problem that I attacked. Since then, we've grown the team quite a bit. We're the number one team at LPT Realty. We have just over 350 agents as of today. We're in seven different states, and multiple metros through every single one of those states. And so it's been a really cool journey to build and scale a foundational team across many metros and many markets and all of the complexity that holds.
Yeah, that's awesome. We were literally talking in our Monday company meeting, like, wow, Space keeps adding MLSs to their app,
Yeah.
like every week. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And I know you think about the team model differently, and we'll get into a little bit about that later. But how was having a branded app? Let's talk a little bit about your tech stack.
We're not a brokerage, we're a team. So we're one unified team across the whole country at LPT. So LPT is our brokerage, so which made it even more valuable to us to compete, right? Because we don't have a brokerage. We don't have an entity that contains our brand. We have a team. And so we had to continue to find ways to differentiate ourselves beyond the brokerage model as a team. And we see it in the industry massively, right? Like we see Zillow and what Realtor.com is doing and all of these portal product apps and mortgage companies like, with Redfin and with uh, Quicken and with all of these different companies that are continue to dive in with Rocket and so forth, trying to consolidate our marketplace. Well, what about us? Like, what about these other entities that are building and scaling? If we're going to compete in their market center and in their mold and their model, we have to do something, I don't want to say to fight back, but necessarily to compete in a way for consumer intention. And so by having our own product, having our own app, that sets us apart. It differentiates us against all other teams in the marketplace. Our agents are able to add a different level of professionalism for their business. When they go to a client and they say, "Hey, just jump on Zillow and go look at those houses," versus, "Hey, I have a proprietary app built for you and it protects our relationship and the client, buyer journey." That's a completely different conversation of professionalism. One's a very independent contractor, the other one's running a business. And to the consumer, that is perceived as such. So it was a big thing for us to separate our brand and our product valuation for agents at a whole nother level.
Yes, 100% agree. That is awesome to hear. What are some of the features that you hear from agents time and time again that are game changers in their branded app?
I mean, the fact that the mortgage provider and them can both be attached, and so many, like the facial recognition of them seeing their face on a regular basis and what that looks like, that's huge. Obviously, the showing request and the liking and all of those features are awesome and awesome tools. But then as we continue to evolve the product and get better and better, the resources that the agents are able to access from a team standpoint and a company standpoint are super powerful. And we're trying to build more and more consumer focused products so that it doesn't have to just stop with the real estate process. Like it can go beyond that. How do we support our clients beyond them just buying and selling real estate? So that's been really exciting to see the agents and see the evolution of the product with our agents and the app as it's grown.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you see it for your agents as the app playing into that repeat and referral business as time goes on? Is it those app resources?
Yeah, the app resources, I think us intertwining vendor relationships down the stretch is going to be really, really big for us. Every single client, after they buy and sell their house, they're going to need the AC tune up. They're going to need a new roofer. They're going to need all of those things. And as we evolve the product, and now our agent becomes the resource for their real estate journey in life, not just one file. So now they're able to use the app, use it for the client to person or client to agent relationship a little bit higher level than just when they're searching for properties. So that's, I think, the future of where we'd want to take it to a lifelong client relationship journey, not just a transactional one.
Yeah, yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I've had, agents who've been in the business 30 years who are like, well, now I'm selling houses to my original clients' kids, and the fact
Yeah.
that I have an app is making me look relevant,
Yeah.
and they kept coming back to me because we put those resources in there, and they're always coming back to us for years to come. So I think that's really, really important.
Yeah.
How has your team been trained? Because you guys are very big on training and coaching within the team to share their apps in the field. And how has that translated into more conversions as opposed to if they were just doing email marketing?
Yeah, so we have it in our home buying guides, all of our marketing materials with QR codes and co-branding and all of those pieces. We've built it into our SOP and our process for our agents. So when an agent meets with a client and builds that relationship, we're bringing Homestack up right away. Like we're bringing our app up right away so that we can remove the consumer off of another experience and put them on our proprietary platform that's going to stick with us so they don't have to get hit up by every agent or every other person in the marketplace that they naturally do by searching on Google or online. And so we make it a part of the implementation process and we train our agents from day one that once you establish a relationship, it's time to use the app. It's time to that kind of is like the signed finish line of that agency relationship. Yes, we have the agreements and the signed documents, but when we get a client onto the app and they start searching with us, then we know like they're in, like that's our client, and there's a lot of satisfaction to the agency side of things for our agents when they see that happen and take place.
Boom. I love that. It's like signed, sealed, delivered. Here's the
Yes.
app. You are in. That is
Yes.
awesome. So, so awesome. And I think people are creatures of habit. Wherever they start searching is where they're probably going to continue that search journey, right? Like
Yep.
it's just what we get in the habit of doing. That's awesome. I love, love, love that. Let's talk a little bit about your full tech stack. How important is it that the app integrates with Follow Up Boss for you guys, your CRM?
Yeah, it's great because then we can see that visibility of data there. And if it's such a heavy process of getting our clients to use the app, we need to see those resources, like how many likes and favorites and all of those things. Like that matters. And if in without data, you don't have visibility of really supporting your clients. So it matters quite a bit for us to integrate with Follow Up Boss in the way that we currently do. And I'm excited to continue to see it evolve over time.
Yeah, it's only getting better. Follow Up
Yep.
Boss is one of our favorite CRMs, and we're integrating even deeper with them, doing big imports and auto engaging and stuff. So I think that's going to be really cool to see how that unfolds this next year.
Yeah.
How does offering a branded app help you guys to recruit and retain higher quality agents in this climate?
I think it's continuing to level up. So we're a different team than most. Our lifeblood, our foundation of what space represents in the ecosystem of the real estate relationship is sphere-based referral marketing, sphere of influence and referral marketing.
Mm.
That's where we want to generate the majority of our business. So I personally believe that teams that solely just sell leads are setting agents up for failure long term. And I think having a branded app solidifies that relationship and that professional focus even further because our goal is it might start with leads sometimes to start generating your database and building your network, but it shouldn't end there. The foundation of your real estate business should be the people you've already sold real estate to and the relationships you've created over the years of running your business. One of the things I say all the time is if in 10 years from now, it's just as hard as it is today, you did it wrong. And you don't want to wake up 10 years from now and look back and be like, oh crap, I should have joined Space 8 years ago and changed my business and changed my life. And so it's made it easy for us because we're showing agents that there is an easier way than just running around as employees doing everybody else's leads.
Yeah.
Build yourself a book of business, maintain that book of business, and invest in those relationships. Make that the lifeblood of your journey. And so for us, we use the app plus a lot of other solutions to empower our agents to build the best referral business that's in existence.
Yeah, and honestly, like that's tale as old as time, right? Like that is the basis of every successful agent that I talk to or interact with. It's like I built my sphere of influence, I built my repeat and referral business. And that
Yep.
is how you sustain. Before there was buying leads, before there was this type of, model, like that was the basis of real estate and I think it kind of always will be.
Yes, it's relationship business.
Yeah.
We are in the business of relationships. People don't make logical decisions, they make emotional ones. And so at the end of the day, it's about the relationships that we drive in our life. And as AI becomes more powerful, as tech infiltrates more and more of our business, people will crave relationships more than they ever have. And the further everything in the real estate business goes away from relationships, it's just going to heighten the value that relationships add to the business. So
Yeah.
that's been our biggest focus is let's go back to the basics. Let's drive relationships. Let's make that the lifeblood of our business, and it will continue to operate at a really high level.
Boom. That's why you guys are 350 agents.
Yes.
And all the metro areas. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what's the biggest mistake that you see teams making when they're trying to roll out technology adoption?
The shiny object syndrome. Okay,
Mhm.
so this is really key. It's there's something to be said about just throwing money at problems that you have, hoping that the next tech solution will fix it. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the same for Homestack or Follow Up Boss or any other CRM or any other product tech solution where it's done for you or it's created and crafted, it's added to your tech stack and so forth. If you don't have the baseline product or the systems to use that product, it
Mhm.
does not matter once you buy the product. You're just going to be wasting money. Homestack is an incredible solution to be leveraged and used. But if you don't have a plan in place to operate with Homestack, then it doesn't matter. You're still going to fail through that journey. Homestack by itself is not going to create business or grow your business. It has to have still a plan. It still has to have leadership and people and systems involved and intertwined into that product, just like any product. And so I think the number one mistake agents, teams, brokerages make is they just buy products hoping that just having the product will build the system for it. And that's the biggest downfall is you still need massive process built into your business to leverage that product at its fullest, or you're just wasting your time and money until you build that process.
Yeah, yeah. So the coaching agents is crucial. And how do you guys hold the agents accountable to use the tools within the team?
I mean, I think a big part of it is as you grow and scale, right? So if you only have 5 agents, it's really easy to check everyone's account, see how many,
Ah,
users they have and get into the weeds. When companies grow and scale, and we have 350, so and growing every day. And so you can't get into the weeds on an individual person at that level anymore. So the way we hold them accountable now is we look at leading indicators of their metrics performing well or not, right? So we look at more like red flag metrics at scale. And so
mhm.
if we see an agent underperforming or not performing to the level that we would expect the entire team to perform at or the standards that we've given, then we go under a microscope with those individuals and we really critique on what can we do to get you back to the highest performing status that you're at. And using Homestack as one of those pieces of how many people do you have in your app? Are you using this in the process of client acquisition? It's an important step. So I think it's first recognizing which agents need that attention and then hyper focusing on what actions need to be established.
Yeah, yeah. And I think just even bringing it up, like sometimes you'll roll something out and then they just forget and it's like pull up those numbers. Show everybody like who has the most app users. Like let's get some
Yep.
healthy competition going, right? Amongst the team members.
Yep.
Um, what is the most immediate ROI that you all have seen since you've rolled out the Homestack app?
I think it's the increase in price point capability, right? And so I think that was really big is it's easy to see that like increased production, but one could make an argument that you could do that from any other atmosphere. But Homestack adds this new level of professionalism that separates. And I think we're increasing our average price point. We're increasing the clientele that we're bringing into the ecosystem. So it's not about necessarily more units, but if you did the same amount of units at an average price point of $50,000 higher, that's a lot more money at the end of the year that you're looking for commission and gross commission income. So the highest growth of ROI for me has been the stair step approach to increasing your price point.
Wow, yeah. That makes a lot of sense because we do have a lot of luxury agents that use
Yep.
the app or use it to niche down into a certain like luxury neighborhood that they really want to build in and be the agent of that
Yeah.
niche down luxury market or neighborhood. Yeah, yeah, that's really cool. So why Homestack to build your app?
So far, it's been the absolute best experience, which is really, really big for us. The relationships that I've been able to have communicate with the team and the service team for all of that, it made it really easy to build out and to add to our ecosystem. And just the general support, right? Like when we need something, you guys have always been there, which has been great. And we're not your cookie cutter team. So the complexity of things matters. And so having you guys as a partner to help us work through those struggles and work through that growth is huge. Being able to access all those MLSs and being able to grow and scale with us is really, really important to us. So it's been really exciting. It's been real fun.
Yeah, data can be a beast.
Yes. Go beyond belief.
Awesome. Well, any last words of advice for team leaders as to why they should build a custom branded app with Homestack?
Separate yourself. What you got to look at your value prop. As a team leader, what makes you any different than all the other team leaders, right? And at the end of the day, if you're a team out there, everybody's going to have transaction coordination and leads and training and support, but how many of those teams have their own proprietary app that sets them apart? You have to find a way as a team leader to separate yourself from everyone else that's out there, and Homestack's an incredible way to do that.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Keith, so much for being here with us
Yeah.
today. We can't wait to grow with you guys and see what's next with space.
Thank you. Yeah.